Welcome to LFC Transfer Hub. Liverpool receives £60 million bid for forward, personal terms agreed. Liverpool star Luis Diaz has now become the subject of a new bid from Bayern Munich, according to reports, with talks between the clubs now ongoing as the Bundesliga champions try to finalize a deal for the former Porto star to join their ranks ahead of the transfer deadline. Diaz endured his best season so far in a Reds shirt last season, scoring 13 top-flight goals as they cruised to the Premier League title over second-placed Arsenal by 10 points, even taking their foot off the gas in the final few games of the season. But with new signings in the form of Bundesliga trio Florian Wirtz, Hugo Ekitike and Jeremy Frimpong all likely to impact the final third, there is change of foot at Anfield. Bayern submit new offer to Liverpool for Diaz. With that in mind, a report by Sky Sports journalist Florian Plettenberg states that Bayern have now submitted a new offer to Liverpool worth over €67. £5 million, £60 million for Diaz as they look to finalize a deal for the Colombian to come into their ranks. Talks between the clubs are ongoing, and Diaz wants to join Bayern. He's waiting for an agreement between the two clubs and can sign a deal running until 2029. Though a move could still fall through if the clubs can't agree on a fee before the transfer window slams shut. Bayern need a new left-winger given the fact that Leroy Sane has joined Galatasaray after failing to agree terms on a new contract, while starboy Jamal Musiala suffered a horrific injury against Paris Saint-Germain in the FIFA Club World Cup, and that means that their wide ranks are depleted for the time being. Wirtz can play on Liverpool's left-hand side, whilst Netherlands star Cody Gakpo is also in with a shout of starring in a starting role throughout the campaign. But the key over any potential Diaz move is that it could raise vital funds in securing the signing of Newcastle United star Alexander Isak, who has signaled his intentions to leave St James Park in the coming window if anyone can stump up a fee for his services. Liverpool left-back Beck signs new contract and leaves on loan. Liverpool have announced a new long-term contract for left-back Beck, who will now spend the campaign on loan with Derby in the Championship. Beck has enjoying productive loan spells with Dundee and Blackburn over the last 2 seasons, returning to Liverpool this summer with a decision to make. After training with Arne Slot's first-team squad in the early stages of pre-season, the Wales international was left out of the touring squad in Asia. That comes as a loan move to Derby was being finalised, with the 22-year-old completing the switch on Friday afternoon. Liverpool have also agreed a new long-term contract before allowing Beck to leave for what is the 5th loan spell of his career. He previously spent time with Famalicão in Portugal, albeit cut short after 2 months due to a lack of appearances, as well as another brief stint at Bolton. There are high hopes around Beck for the future, and the plan will be for him to continue his development under a familiar head coach in John Eustace. Eustace worked with the Welshman while in charge of Blackburn last season, and having made the switch to Derby in February, both player and coach were eager to be reunited. Speaking to Rams TV after completing his move, Beck said, "Last season I played under him, and we built a really good connection, and I feel like he got the best out of me. When he called up and we had that conversation again, where he was looking to bring me in, it was a no-brainer really. I enjoyed playing under him. I feel like he can get even more out of me this season and I can push that step further." Derby finished 19th in the Championship last season, but will be aiming for a more positive campaign this time around after losing just 2 of their final 11 games under Eustace in 2024-25. Beck made 25 appearances for Blackburn last time out, scoring once and assisting 2 further goals, but his season ended early due to a serious hamstring injury. Hugo Ecatike trains with Liverpool for the first time after Hong Kong welcome. Hugo Ekitike has now taken in his first training session as a Liverpool player on Friday, having been given a warm welcome by fans in Hong Kong the day before. Ekitike officially signed on Wednesday evening before immediately boarding a flight to Hong Kong to join his new teammates on their pre-season tour. He then met the squad on the pitch during their open training at the Ecatike Sports Park on Thursday, with 25,000 supporters in attendance. Though he did not join the session that day, Ekitike was then involved as Liverpool continued their preparations on Friday morning. The French striker and the rest of the squad warmed up in the gym before heading out onto the pitch, with the Reds again using the facilities at the Ecatike Sports Park.it, is the same venue where they will face AC Milan in the first of two friendlies on tour on Saturday, with their second coming against J1 League side Yokohama F. Marinos in Japan next week. Liverpool enjoyed another spirited session in an air-conditioned stadium despite the Far East heat, with Ekitike involved in ball work including finishing drills. He was also put through initial fitness checks by lead physical performance coach Ruben Peters as Liverpool gauge his levels before throwing him into the deep end. Arne Slot will look to get his latest signing, who will temporarily wear the number 54 shirt, up to speed as quickly as possible. However, it remains to be seen if he will be included against AC Milan on Saturday, having likely only taken in 2 training sessions beforehand. Darwin Núñez and Luis Diaz are still available as options in the center-forward role, while Slot also has Mohamed Salah, Cody Gakpo, Ben Doak and Rio Ngamaha for the forward line. But given his expected importance to the side, the head coach will no doubt be eager to see how Ecatike fits into the current setup. With Núñez and Diaz both slated to leave this summer amid interest from Al Hilal and Bayern Munich respectively, Ecatike could be the main focus as Slot works through these upcoming friendlies. Liverpool are also reported to be preparing an official approach for Newcastle striker Alexander Isak after he made clear his desire to leave. It is unclear how both Isak and Ecatike would fit into the same side. If that is the plan, though, Slot could feasibly trial a 2-striker system at some stage this preseason. Liverpool versus AC Milan. New signings and TV info. Liverpool are in Hong Kong and will meet AC Milan in their latest preseason friendly on Saturday, with the potential to see a few new signings in action for the first time. Liverpool have played 2 friendlies this summer. First, a 3-1 win at Preston before a behind-closed-doors 5-0 win against Stoke prior to jetting off to Asia. Of the 7 new faces, only Florian Wirtz, Hugo Ekitike and Armin Pexi have yet to be seen firsthand by Liverpool supporters, and that could change against AC Milan. There is plenty to keep an eye on in this friendly, although the usual preseason caveats regarding performances and positions still apply. Liverpool now have a 30-man squad in Hong Kong after the arrival of Ekitike, who trained with his new teammates on the eve of this friendly. There is no guarantee he will feature, but if he was to be called on, you would expect it would be only for a brief period ahead of a more involved role next week in Japan. Wirtz is anticipated to get his first run out in front of the cameras, but Alexis Mac Allister is anticipated to sit this one out as he continues to work back to full fitness. Do not be surprised to see 2 different Zais on show once again. The backdrop for this friendly is Ecatike Stadium, located in Hong Kong. It has a capacity of 50,000 and only opened in March of this year, 6 years on from when construction first began in 2019. The stadium features a retractable roof and air conditioning, which the players will certainly enjoy as it can be very hot and humid in Hong Kong at this time of the year. This is the club's first time back to the region since 2017. The winner of this match will take home the Standard Chartered Trophy. And don't forget, the club will still be wearing their Nike kits for this fixture as their deal with Adidas does not start until August 1st. AC Milan's preseason tour takes them to Singapore, Hong Kong and Perth, Australia, and they have a 26-man squad in tow, one that does not include former Red Divock Origi. The forward has long been frozen out, and a resolution over his next step has yet to be reached. Massimiliano Allegri's squad does include Christian Pulisic, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, and Samuel Chukwueze. Alan Shearer says Newcastle look ridiculous after Alexander Isak claims. Alan Shearer branded Newcastle ridiculous for attempts to explain Alexander Isak's absence from their pre-season tour before his exit plea emerged. When announcing their 30-man squad for friendlies in Singapore and South Korea on Thursday morning, Newcastle claimed Isak's omission was due to injury. But hours after that official update, it was revealed that the Swedish striker had requested not to travel after informing the club he wishes to leave this summer. Liverpool are now reported to be preparing a formal approach after making it clear earlier this month that they are willing to break the British transfer record to sign Isak. While Newcastle's stance remains that Isak did not travel due to injury, Shearer was left baffled at the thought people wouldn't see through that. It's ridiculous what Newcastle put out to say he wasn't on the trip because of a slight thigh injury, the former Newcastle player and manager said per BBC Sport. If they thought people wouldn't see through that, it was disappointing. They should have just told the truth straight away. I understand it's a very difficult situation for them, but it is what it is. It comes during a frustrating transfer window for Newcastle who, despite qualifying for the Champions League, have only managed to sign winger Anthony Elanga so far and been unsuccessful in their pursuit of other key targets. One of those was Ecatike, who instead joined Liverpool, while primary goalkeeper target James Trafford is now closing in on a move to Man City instead. Isak's departure would only worsen the situation, and though Shearer is still hopeful his fellow centre-forward can be convinced to stay, he spoke with a resignation. Eddie Howe has to use all his persuasive powers to do what he can and try to make him stay at least one more year, he continued. If that can't happen, then it is what it is. You have to get the very best deal for the football club, and if someone is prepared to pay north of £150 million, and if he really wants to go, you can't step in his way. While Liverpool are still capable of signing Isak while remaining compliant with the Premier League's profit and sustainability rules, any move could be funded by upcoming sales. Darwin Núñez and Luis Diaz could leave for Al Hilal and Bayern Munich for a combined £125 million, while the likes of Federico Chiesa, Harvey Elliott, Ben Doak, and Tyler Morton should also move on. Thanks for watching. Like and comment and subscribe.